Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. At the end of its operational life, every ship embarks on its final voyage, not to another port, but to a graveyard. A ship faces its final fate in a shipbreaking yard, where it will be stripped down to its core. One such colossal ship is the G Harmony, a handy-sized cargo ship built in 2005 with a deadweight of 35,000 tons. After being decommissioned, the ship was beached in early 2024 at the Gadani shipbreaking yard in Pakistan for a value of $531 per ton.
मेरा नाम गुलाम मेहदी है। मैं पिछले तकरीबन 4 सालों से यहाँ पे एज ए QHSE मैनेजर के ओहदे पर फाइज हूँ। ये वर्ल्ड थर्ड लार्जेस्ट शिप ब्रेकिंग यार्ड है। पहले नंबर पे इंडिया, दूसरे नंबर पे बांग्लादेश और तीसरे नंबर पे पाकिस्तान का आता है।
The shipbreaking yard stretches 10 kilometers along a tidal beach in Gadani, with 134 plots for docking ships. Since the 80s, it has been one of the largest shipbreaking yards globally in terms of capacity and the number of ships dismantled annually.
और इसमें बेसिक प्रोसेस ये है कि एक शिप की एक मियाद होती है, यानी 20 साल 25 साल। उस दौरान में उसके बाद जो है ना, वो वर्किंग कंडीशन में नहीं होते, यानी वो इतना नहीं होते, बेनिफिट नहीं होते, यानी ज़्यादातर ख़राब हो जाते, पुराने हो जाते, जिसकी वजह से वो बेनिफिशियल नहीं आते कंपनी के लिए। तो ऐसी सूरत में फिर शिप को स्क्रैप के लिए दे दिए जाते हैं।
The facility uses the beaching technique, where the ship runs aground on the beach during high tide and remains stranded when the tide recedes. All the major shipbreaking facilities in Southeast Asia use this low-cost method over the more complex dry dock method. After beaching, workers board the ship and remove valuable items such as engines, generators, and electronics. Then, they remove non-metallic fixtures that hold a resale value. Workers use a crane to remove large quantities of small parts from the ship. Due to their higher value, non-structural items such as steel pipes and valves have also been removed. With no valuables left, workers start cutting through the steel hull from top to bottom. They use blowtorches to cut through thick sheets of steel to create manageable sections. After the interior elements have been removed, the crew identifies suitable anchor points on the ship's hull to attach chains. These heavy-duty anchor chains or steel cables are used to secure the ship to anchor points on the beach. They are wrapped to the anchors using shackles and bolts to ensure the boat remains still. Wire rope, made from strands of steel wire twisted together, is commonly used as a towing cable. Considering the weight of the steel chains and wire rope, the workers rely on loaders to manipulate the anchor points. Workers use gravity. where large chunks of steel are dropped to the shore from the deck after separating them from the ship's structure. These large parts, weighing around 600 to 800 tons, are dragged to the cutting section by winches or loaded onto trucks by front-end loaders. Then, workers downsize them into smaller pieces using blowtorches.
वहाँ से छोटे छोटे पीस आते हैं, हम उनको काट कूट के फिर ठप्पी में लगा लेते हैं। जो हमारे साथ वर्किंग वाले और भी हैं जो उठाकर वो ठप्पी में डाल देते। हमारा काटना है सिर्फ काटने का।
Despite the risk of explosions and toxic fumes, workers are left with no option but to rely on blowtorches. These small parts are the ultimate yield of the labor-intensive and month-long shipbreaking process. And with their smaller size, workers can easily transport them to the recycling facilities. The salvaged steel from demolished ships accounts for 80% of local steel requirements in Pakistan. Usually, the foundries located around Karachi rely on steel coming from the Gadani yard. They melt down steel sheets and other metal parts to manufacture new components, including ship propellers. The workers use the rudimentary manufacturing process of sand casting to manufacture the propellers. To begin with, they place a metal pattern on the casting sand to create the mold cavity. This lower section mold cavity is called the drag. Using casting sand with the right properties is crucial. For example, the sand must have a specific level of porosity to allow gases generated during molten solidification to escape. If not, trapped gas can create holes in the cast, greatly impairing the quality. Next, they use a sledgehammer to ram the pattern firmly. After completing the lower mold cavity, workers use a metal cage to create the upper mold half, which is called the cope. They carefully lower the cage onto the drag and use both sand and wooden sticks to create the upper half of the mold. Wooden sticks hold the sand to the required shape, and metal rods compact it. After applying the right pressure, the cage can be removed and overturned to expose the cope. A silver-colored graphite spray is used as the release agent on the mold surface. As the name implies, the release powder helps to decouple the cast from the pattern when the cast solidifies. Workers preheat the halves using a blowtorch to strengthen the mold surface further and remove trapped moisture. Preheating can also burn away any organic materials that could possibly generate gas when they come into contact with molten metal. Now, the workers are left with the most demanding phase of their jobs.
मेन जो काम रह जाता है ना, मुश्किल जो हार्ड काम है वो है माल डालना। ये भट्टी है, इस भट्टी में माल गलाते हैं, उसके बाद इसको हम लोग उठा के फिर इसमें हम माल कल्टी करते हैं, डालते हैं। तो सबसे जो मुश्किल इसमें काम है, हार्ड काम है, वो है माल डालना पंगे के अंदर।
When the molten material solidifies, workers lift the cage and break the mold to take the new propeller out. Grinders are used to trim the unwanted flash, and lathes to drill through the propeller hub to achieve the required diameter. After all machining and polishing are done, workers drive the propeller shaft through the hub. Now, the propeller is fully completed and ready for installation on the boat. While Pakistan plays a pivotal role in the maritime industry through its extensive shipbreaking and propeller manufacturing sector, Panama stands as a vital crossroad for global shipping by facilitating seamless maritime passage through its world-renowned canal. The 51-mile-long Panama Canal connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, creating a shortcut with multifaceted advantages. On average, 40 ships travel through the Panama Canal daily.
Ahora, es importante señalar que las embarcaciones utilizan el canal de Panamá porque el canal es un atajo. Les va a ahorrar mucha distancia, mucho dinero, mucho combustible. Entonces estas embarcaciones utilizan el canal por ese ahorro que tienen al cruzarlo. Un ejemplo, si la embarcación está pagando $300,000, como ejemplo, esta embarcación, si decide irse alrededor de Sudamérica o utilizar otras rutas, se estaría gastando 3 veces más lo que pagaron por utilizar el canal.
A universal cost measurement system defines the cost based on many factors, including the vessel size, cargo on board, and displacement. Typically, a Neo-Panamax-sized LNG tanker may have to pay a fee of around $250,000 to $500,000. A ship cannot enter the canal under its own power. Thus, tugboats tow the ship to the waterlocks. The waterlock chambers are the most crucial part of the Panama Canal. There are a total of 12 lock chambers, including the new addition of 3-chamber locks on either side to accommodate much larger Neo-Panamax class ships. The water locks act as climbing stairs, raising the ship when entering the canal and then lowering it to enter the ocean. When the ship enters the first lock, it's raised by filling the chamber with water from the adjacent chamber under gravity. A watertight gate contains water within the lock during refilling. Then, the ship passes to the next level, and the process repeats until the ship is lifted to the canal height. Nearly 52 million gallons of fresh water are being used for one transit, and nearly 40% of this water is released to the ocean. Creating a freshwater deficit in the canal. To address this issue, officials have added water-saving basins next to the new water locks that minimize the use of fresh water from Gatun Lake. A special electric locomotive device called a mule moves the ship during its passage through the locks. They run on tracks on either side of the lock walls and are attached to the ship via towing cables. While the Panama Canal remains a vital artery in global maritime travel, it faces diverse challenges that threaten the sustainability of the canal. Here is Katiuska Shakmez, a guide at the Panama Canal, talking about those intricate challenges.
Los desafíos que atraviesa la operación del Canal de Panamá, pues el agua. El agua es el combustible del Canal de Panamá. Sin agua no podemos funcionar. Tuvimos este año pasado una crisis con el calentamiento global y con el fenómeno del Niño, aunado también a nuestro verano panameño.
Just like the Panama Canal has revolutionized global maritime travel, inland water transportation in Bangladesh is also making a significant impact on the country's economy. The country is blessed with 700 navigable rivers, streams, and canals that stretch to a collective distance of 24,000 kilometers. This network of waterways fuels the country's commercial river transport industry. One of the fastest growing intercity routes lies between the city of Dhaka and the city of Barisal, through the Buriganga and Padma rivers. This is Salam, the captain of the ship, who holds the helm and oversees all ship operations.
এতে আমি 9-10 বছর আবার আমি নিম্ন কর্মচারী ওই আমাদের খালাসিরা ওরা আছে না ওইরকম আমি ওই কাজ করতাম লঞ্চে ঝাড়ু দিতাম ধুইতাম পরিষ্কার করতাম সিঁড়ি দিতাম লঞ্চ বাঁধতাম তারপর আস্তে আস্তে সবার প্রয়োজন হয়ে গেল কাজকর্ম শিখে গেলাম ওস্তাদেরা কইলো যে ওরে এখন লঞ্চ চালাইতে দেওয়া যায় এই 9-10 বছর আমাকে লঞ্চ চালানোর দায়িত্ব দিল তখন তো দোতলা লঞ্চ ছিল না খুব কম ছিল কাঠ বডি জাহাজ ছিল তখন স্টিল বডি জাহাজ ছিল না তখন আমি এই চাকরি করি আর ওই জাহাজ চালাই দেশ বিদেশে আল্লাহর রহমতে অনেক কোম্পানিতে আমি চাকরি করছি
The ports are usually crowded with passengers. When the ship arrives, workers berth it to the deck with large mooring ropes. The ship offers limited amenities to the passengers, including toilets and canteens. As seating may differ from one operator to the next, most ferries have a few levels. The lowest level offers open-air spaces with a limited number of seats. Passengers can bring personal mats to rest on the floor. Upper deck levels contain first class and VIP accommodations with a few more amenities. Salam mans the bridge during docking and departing. He receives help from other workers to dock the ship at the pier. The bridge has basic navigational equipment, including GPS, walkie-talkies, and radar systems. Whether global or local, maritime operations leave an indispensable footprint on shaping global trade and the economy because the world is closely knit to these operations. All phases, from shipbuilding to operations to shipbreaking, play a vital role in sustaining the maritime industry, as one sector relies on the other. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.